Welcome back to Heated Conversations, episode 3. I'm joined by Alex, our Aftercare manager. Say hello.
Hi everybody. You okay?
Alex is no stranger to the camera. We've done about 1 million videos, 1 million photos for her on the website. It's all in the contract somewhere. It's not. But yeah, what do you do at iHeat?
I come to work. I
Looks
am
like it.
an aftercare manager.
Yeah.
I deal with all inquiries, help customers top the boiler pressure up, speak to the manufacturers or engineers for customers if they didn't feel confident in doing so themselves. Obviously, you do have the odd funny one from time to time.
Oh yes, we'll get to that.
However, I'm just there to make sure the customers are happy and do everything that I can to physically be on hand and help them out. If it's from getting someone's warranty documents or generally chatting to someone and helping explain something in a bit more depth to the customer on the phone. So yeah, kind of do a bit of everything, all aftercare related.
How long have you been at iHeat? You've been here quite a while.
Yes, so I have been here for nearly 2 years.
Wow.
Started on the 14th of June.
Very soon.
2 years in a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's come round so fast, so fast.
You still feel new, don't you, in a weird way?
100%. Considering I was at my last job for years and years and years, which was like 8 years, 2 years I still feel new, but then there's loads of newbies on top of me, only a couple of months in.
And you say 8 years previously. What did you do before? Just let them know so you can see your little background story.
Yeah, of course. So prior to working at iHeat, I was a chef.
Yes.
Worked in a country pub and did all homemade meals.
No, I do love that. Love that.
It was good, and I learned skills for life. So that was super interesting. It's something that I'll always take with me wherever I go. Because let's be honest, everyone needs to know how to cook.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah. And obviously you cook every day at home.
No, I do try and get out the cooking. And the washing up.
So for people who are watching who don't know the terminology or the jargon of what is aftercare, I mean, boilers aren't a rushed decision. You might get one the day before because we do next day delivery and all that sort of stuff. But once it's installed, the customers, we've bought this boiler, but what does it actually do? How do I use it? And I think that's what aftercare is. You sort of deal with the customer and say, this is how you top up the pressure, yada, yada, yada. So how would you define aftercare?
So what I would say is I'm on hand for our customers for anything that they need, basically. So if they've got an inquiry after they've had the boiler installed and there's something that they're not sure about, I'm there to kind of help them.
Yeah.
And I just want to advise and do physically everything that I can to help them. Because if I was in that situation and you've just paid all this money for a new purchase and you're a bit confused or stuck by something, you'd want someone to be on hand to talk you through it and have a quick chat with you and reassure you that this is what you do, or, just be there for the customers. I generally... Quite sad, really. I love helping people.
No, it's a perfect job for you, especially in that case. Yeah. Right, so you're on the phones a lot. You speak to a load of customers and engineers as well, which they'll know. They'll have heard your voice a few times.
Engineers ring me and then they go, "Why can't I get through?" And I'm like, "I'm speaking to somebody."
What's the funniest complaint or story you've got from dealing with all these customers and engineers?
I've got a funny one. So basically, this customer had... give us a call and he was having some issues with his thermostat.
All right.
I was like, God, what can I do to help? Let me see what I can do. Send me some videos of the issues you're experiencing. It's like, my thermostat's rattling. So I was like, it's rattling? What do you mean?
All right.
I was like, is it your batteries rattling in it? What's the problem? Why is it rattling?
Yeah.
I was like, send me a video of this rattling. I need to see it. Can I have a thermostat, please?
Thermostat.
I need some props.
Jeez.
This is a good one.
Was it go for an EPH?
Go for an EPH. For an example.
There you go.
So this...
iHeat branding on it as well.
Here we go, yeah. iHeat, here we go. This customer had sent me a video and he said, "Oh, it's rattling, the thermostat's rattling." So I said, "Can you define what it means for rattling? I need this video." He's like this with the thermostat. And I was like, you need to stop violently, aggressively shaking your thermostat because that's why it's probably rattling. And he was like whacking it on the side, rattling it. And I was like...
It's probably broken into 1 million pieces.
Yeah, probably the inside wasn't, honestly, but that's a video we have saved.
God. When you said rattling, I imagine it's on his wall, shaking that random line.
Sorry. He was literally like this, and I was like, what are you doing? Honestly.
For future reference, you aren't meant to shake Your thermostat.
Please don't shake your thermostat
Just leave
or your
it on
boiler.
your side.
Please leave that on the wall.
I'll stick this back on.
I've got another funny story.
All right, okay.
So this one is an engineer had gone to a customer's property, installing the boiler, and I got a phone call. I'm not happy with this engineer. I was like, oh gosh, why? Let me see what I can do to help. Tell me all about it.
Dreading
I want to make
worst,
sure that you're all right. Anyway, she was like, I could see his crack. I was like, what do you mean you could see his crack? He needs a belt and he needs to pull his pants up. And I was like, right, okay, no problem. I'm going to make the engineer aware he needs a belt. She's like, worse than that, he was singing and he was out of tune. And I was like, right, okay, no problem. And I get that. If someone was in your house and you're there trying to watch Real Deal on a Tuesday morning and some engineer's there with his crack out and singing the complete, out of tune and the wrong words, I get it. So, yeah, that was another funny one that we had.
I can't imagine that phone call. Oh. Hi, whatever his name is. I've had a complaint that your arse is out. And he'd just be so embarrassed, tucking. Oh, God.
We had another one, I'm sorry. This is another one.
She's on, she's gone.
Sorry, this has just come to me. This engineer had fitted a boiler. And when he's fitted this boiler, he's fitted it absolutely fine. It's in a small cupboard. Yeah. Anyway, it's in like an airing cupboard, so it's a tight space that he's got to get in. And he's had to go back to fit a different part on the boiler afterwards because it needed an additional part, which is absolutely fine. We've gone back to fit that. And he couldn't fit in the cupboard, but it was only a few months ago that he installed the boiler. And he was like, I've not gone fat. And he said to me, I can't fit in the cupboard, you're going to have to send someone else. He was like, I've not gone fat, though. I've definitely not gone fat. I've just gone the gym. I'm not saying you've gone fat. I'm just saying you fit in the cupboard 3 months ago and now you can't fit in. You've fitted that boiler. The customer's ringing me saying the engineer's too big. What am I meant to do?
Had he actually got bigger then? Or the cupboard got small?
No. The cupboard shrunk.
That's what we'll tell him.
The cupboard had shrunk. But yeah, that was he was so in denial.
God. So advice for engineers.
Don't get fat.
Stay fit, wear a belt, and try and sing in tune. To get the engineer something out of the podcast, to be able to take something away from it, Aftercare Disasters, how can an engineer look after themselves, prepare themselves to avoid any sort of angry phone calls from Alex in the office?
I'm not angry ever. Honestly, I'm not angry. I'd probably apologise to them before I said anything.
I'm really sorry I've got to tell you off.
I'm really sorry I've got to tell you this, but this is what you've done. No, what I would say is pictures and videos are so helpful.
Yeah.
I know we ask engineers for 1 million pictures and I can imagine it's frustrating. I get that, but we're doing that for you. We're literally doing that for the engineer to cover his own back.
Yeah.
So if somebody does come to me and say there has been a problem somewhere, I've got evidence that it was either like that before or
not as bad,
you never know. And the amount of engineers go into a home and go, oh yeah, I already seen that. Take a picture of it. Do everything that you can because we're not doing that for us. We're doing it for you to cover your own backs.
100%. Yeah.
Another one, what I would say is communication. Just chatting with us, communicating with us. Communication is literally key to everything. If everyone knows what's going on, there's no problems.
As soon as you see an issue or you think, I'm not going to get to that, or I can't, this floor's broken, just make a phone call. Alex will be there.
I'll do anything that I can to help you. I'll ring the customer before the customer's even there. Everyone will be happy. No complaints.
Right, so we've covered all areas. We've covered the engineers' backs. They're not going to get any trouble from you anymore.
You never do anyway.
I've got a feeling there's got to be strange stories. You've had funny stories, but strange stories from engineers or from customer side that's so far in the past we don't deal with anymore, which you're allowed to say.
Well, I've got one where this engineer had fitted a boiler for a customer. Fitted a boiler for her, and he had a job on in her area the next day.
All right.
Bearing in mind, he travelled over an hour to get to her. And the engineer ended up sleeping at the customer's house in the spare room, which is very strange. So the customer must have said to him, we don't know if it was just a passing comment saying, oh, you should have stayed here. And he's gone, yeah, we're not sure whether that's the situation or it's been, I don't know. There's something definitely strange. So he slept over at their house, and then the customer had contacted us the next day to make a formal complaint about the engineer.
Snoring.
And I'm there. No, it wasn't snoring. And I'm there thinking, you could have discussed this with him when you was having tea with him last night. I And he could have sorted that problem for you rather than letting him sleep over and then ringing us the next day to tell us, oh, he's just slept at my house, but I'm not happy with this.
Oh, the complaint wasn't about him sleeping over?
No, it wasn't about him sleeping over. It was about something to do with the boiler.
I thought it was like she was too nervous to not let him stay, or she was too polite to not say, you can't stay here.
From what
She
I
was
gathered,
fine
she
with
offered.
that. She was like, yeah, stay over in the spare room, whatever it was.
In the spare room.
The complaint was about something to do with the boiler, missing pump, or she got the pumps somewhere else. Now we won't go into that. Wonderful.
What a weird strange thing to happen. I never thought I'd see an engineer sleeping over at a customer's house.
It's genius though.
Yeah.
Saves on the hotel, the fuel bills.
Yeah, he's not daft, is he? And
We're not recommending it.
He got his tea cut that night.
Best thing about working for iHeat, and we get the energy all the time. You love your job, which is the 100%. Best thing about anything. I think everyone in the office can say that. They see that from you, and you make the office a more bubbly place when you're in it. So what's the best thing about working for iHeat?
I would probably say one of the best things about working for iHeat is the team. I generally love everyone who I work with. Everyone gets along in the office so well.
Yeah.
Like the atmosphere is unreal, and you go in and everyone is just friendly, bubbly, everyone's there for everybody, and everyone's got strong points in different things. So for instance, if I was struggling with something and someone was a little bit stronger in that aspect than me, they would help me and I would do the vice versa for them. And it's such teamwork, and the fact that the directors, the bosses, everyone, I feel appreciated. So it makes me want to come to work. It makes me want to work hard.
Yeah.
Because feeling appreciated and going to work and feeling appreciated is probably the best thing you can ask for in a job, because it shows you get out of what you give.
I think a lot of the time when I'm downstairs, I don't go downstairs that much, but when I sit in, you hear an issue that's going on. We need to get a thermostat there the next day. You've got Matt speaking to the customer, making sure the customer's aware of it happening, yada, yada, yada. You got to make sure an engineer, I think Hannah might deal with the engineer, or you might deal with the engineer, to make sure the thermostat can be fitted the next day. And you've got the lads in the corner making sure it's the right thermostat. Steve's going to the post office to make sure it gets there the next day. Everyone sort of glues together to make sure that customer's satisfied at the end of the day. Whereas in other companies, no one really cares. No one cares if that customer gets that thermostat. Whereas here, it really is 100%. They care about getting that customer satisfied at the end of the day, because they feel such a big part of iHeat, which I think is really good.
100%. I feel so personally about some customers.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
I go home on a weekend and I'm like, I need to switch off, because I'm generally thinking about them. Because if I leave and I've not completed what I needed to do, which is very, very rare, because I physically can't, because I can't get someone there till tomorrow, or I can't do anything to help them, I can't stop thinking about them, because I generally feel like I want to help.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's just part of the job and what have you. But yeah, definitely, I can't see myself going anywhere anytime soon.
Maybe on holiday.
Maybe on holiday. But I mean, job-wise, I do love my job.
Yeah. A few weeks back, or probably a good month now, we did a International Women's Day video.
Yes. That was so fun.
Wonderful day with Steph. You were the apprentice on the job, but you smashed it. What was your favourite part of that job? What was your favourite part of the installation which you enjoyed doing the most?
The favourite part of the installation was using all the power tools.
Yeah.
I've never been trusted with a drill. I don't even think I've ever topped up my window lean in my car. Honestly, I've never been trusted with anything like that. So it was so much fun to kind of just get stuck in.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember I was just saying to Steph, what can I do? How can I help? And then I was outside with this massive, I don't know what it was called. I'm going to call
it... The big core drill, wasn't it?
Oh, I was going to call it a turbo drill, but core drill. It was like a turbo.
It could be, yeah.
It had a turbine on the end of it. Honestly, it was that big. And it was so powerful, and I was like, and it went, sorry for the noise. It was like going through the wall, and then you've got to keep pushing it as you're doing it. And yeah, it was generally so much fun. The only thing that was hard was hanging the boiler in such a tight space. So I do kind of get it when I said the story about the engineer getting big before, because we're two little girls, not little girls, but we're not. Not
a guy trying to struggle to fit in a cupboard. Can easily just sling it on. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. But it was so much fun. So any other apprentice days, let me know. I'll be
doing
there.
it.
I'm going to get some work pants, some work boots, my new iHeat hoodie.
Yeah.
We're all ready to go.
I think you gained a lot of respect from the engineers that day.
Oh, they was ringing me.
Yeah.
I had phone calls after, hi Alex, like engineers in London. Hi Alex, I've just seen your video. Oh yeah, you was very good, wasn't you? And I was thinking, yeah, you won't put me down next time when I tell you that's not right.
She knows her stuff. She's been there. She's done it. She's
And
got
I've done
the
it better.
experience.
No more joking.
No, any complaints from that install?
No, absolutely none. And even said to the woman, if she needs anything, she knows where I am.
Yeah, I bet that was really nice to see her face to face, a customer, and actually speak to him and put a face to voices. Yeah, and names.
It was lovely. Like even going down to the job, it was actually exciting. Like ringing the customer, like I'm on my way.
I'm physically on the way. Yeah,
and like just generally, like we got there. She made us a brew, chatting away with it. Her house was beautiful as well. It was such a lovely place. So yeah, definitely. I don't understand why engineers are grumpy at times. Bloody easy job.
One thing I'll say, I reckon day in, day out.
You might have to cut that.
Yeah, I might have to cut you saying it was easy. Day in, day out, it must get, you might have a horrible day one day, the next it's a nice, really easy, I don't know, Worcester compact that's already got the same pipes and you just put it on nice and easy. But some days I bet it's an absolute brain wreck. And that's why James downstairs is sometimes ripping his own hair out, trying to work out solutions. So you'd definitely be down for a job again. We'll take you on another one.
100%.
Love to see it. 100%.
Let me know when and I'll be there.
Final question then, linking back to your chefing days.
Yes.
Would you rather install a boiler at Gordon Ramsay's house or cook his family and him their tea?
Would I be installing the boiler myself or would I be an apprentice?
I'll give you a bit of grace and say the apprentice. Yeah,
100% install his boiler because them soldering of them pipes, there was no burn marks.
No,
you
smashed it.
It was so neat.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming all the way from downstairs for this podcast. I'm sure you got a million calls go back to cheer up our engineers for the day. So thanks for coming.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
See you in the next episode. This has been iHeat.